Alright, what's going on? Working on processing my buck today. Already got a little bit ground up here. Got a lot more to go. Unfortunately, it got a little more froze than I would have liked it to. My dad's advice for grinding these deer was you want it to be almost froze, but not quite all the way froze. And it definitely does help. It comes out of the grinder much less stringy if it's got a little bit of a freeze to it. Slow process, messy process. I'm doing this, luckily my wife is at work. I got a couple days off because I got to work Thanksgiving. So we're gonna try to take you through the process the best we can, all the way to getting the jerky on the dehydrator and the finished product, and how I do it personally. So follow along. We're moving along. Got the first bit ground up back here, bagged up, everything. And I will say, what I'm learning is, kind of against what my dad was saying, is actually the more thought it got, the easier it got for the grinder to handle. And another little lesson I learned was to just barely feed this thing. Just kind of give it a piece at a time. Use your little plunger to assist it through. I got my other batch here thawing right now. Trying to get it thawed in such a way that it's easier to work, easier to pull apart. That last batch, I just had to, it was a fight the whole way through. But I'm finally through the first bag, which was the bigger bag. So 2:13, I'm trying to get it done for, I gotta go get the kids at 4 o'clock. At least get everything ground and get my mess cleaned up and everything. So we are gonna go ahead and start working on this second bag. Alright. Got our first round of jerky. And get ready to put the marinade on, and we'll show you my recipe anyways. Now, jerky's made to taste, so this might not be for you, but I like mine pretty salty, and we'll just get into it. Alrighty, now we can continue. Let's get these opened up a little better again. I like to start with my dry ingredients first. That way we can rinse them in when we put the liquid marinade in there. Alright, the key ingredients right here. 1/2 cup each. If I got enough, I might have to kind of dial it down a little bit. 1/2 cup of Worcestershire. Man. Kind of knew I was going to have to re-up here soon, but doggone. Alright. A little bit of soy sauce is next. In the mix. And behold, through the magic of video, it's all mixed up. give it a smell here. Oh man. Just one last step to do with this, and that's get it on the dehydrator. Alright, time for my day 2 update. Got the first round of jerky on the dehydrator. Look at that. Ain't that beautiful? Oh yeah. Smells beautiful too. Now, I was trying something different this year, putting it in the baggies to marinate, thinking I could do smaller batches, but I ended up having to go back to my old method and put it in the bowl and bring out the big guns, hit it with the old mixer, because it just wasn't mixing up like I wanted to. But we got her mixed up, got the first round on, the rest of it in the bowl, and about 8 hours on this dehydrator. My dehydrator doesn't have any heat settings, just on and off. So usually about 8 hours, do a batch of jerky, 8 to 10, depending on how dry you want it. I really like it drier, so we'll check on it intermittently, probably rotate the layers about halfway through. Trying to do this in between hollering kids underneath my feet and everything, and give it some time. We'll be back here soon for another update. Okay, just past the 6 hour mark on the jerky. You have to excuse the redness in my eye. I just gouged my eyeball out with a Christmas tree bough while my wife was putting up Christmas decorations. Let's see how this is turning out. Not bad. I think it definitely needs to go to that 8 hour mark. I could probably use a little more seasoning, so we're going to finish this batch off and we'll add to that next bit. Big shout out to my wife for the on-air sign. Worcestershire. Give it about the same amount of soy. Raise that salt. That looks a little more like what we're going for. And we will keep this running until 6, reach that 8 hour mark. We should be doing better on the second batch. Okay, time again. 8 hours now. It's looking pretty good. Move my on-air sign over. Top to top. There it is. Man. Roll that beautiful bean footage. Dang. Let's give it a try. Alright. 8 hours.
Past the place that you come from, far beyond what you see, town like your town. If your town was a dream.
Not bad, a little chewy. I feel like 10 is going to be our magic number.
Only it's not a dream, or a hoax, or a ruse. It is Christmas in Whoville, the home of the Who's.
But not bad. Not terrible. I'll get that recipe dialed in. I just guessed my recipe from last year. Pretty close. That next batch is going to be twice as good. We'll make sure we run it the full 10 hours. Oh yeah. We got some deer jerky though. Alright, I guess I'll close this video out. We've been making jerky now for a couple days. Cycling through all our marinated jerky. I think I got the recipe dialed in, so we'll go ahead and throw that in here to close the video. And just wanted to make some notes. You do not have to have a dehydrator to make your deer into jerky. You can also use the oven. You just gotta, what I do is I turn the oven down as low as it'll go, right around 120 degrees, and I'll put it on like a cooling rack. Or if you are not grinding your meat to make your jerky and using a jerky gun like what I'm using, which by the way, this is my grandpa's jerky gun. If you're not grinding your meat like I am, you can cut it into strips. It's a little bit, I don't know if I'm going to say a longer of a process, but a little more in-depth process to cut it into thin enough strips to make it into jerky. And then what I'll do is I'll actually put toothpicks through one end of it, and I'll hang it from the racks in the oven and kind of prop the door open a little bit. And usually it's just shorter in the oven, like 6 to 8 hours probably. Right around 6 hours in the oven to make jerky like that. So you don't have to have a dehydrator. You don't have to have a meat grinder and a jerky gun. It's just the way that I like to do it. Like I said, jerky's made to taste. Everybody does it a little bit different. But that's my jerky making process. I got to get ready to go to work again on Black Friday, so. Alright, thanks for joining me.